Good evening traders, it's Simon at Kairos Capital Markets with the weekly review of Aussie dollar and pound yen. So now at the end of the week, month and quarter, we've got quite a lot of things to look at, and we'll start looking at the monthly charts and going backwards. So at the moment the Aussie dollar is sitting at the key level of 77. Now we did say last week we'd like to see it move towards 77, which it done so quite nicely. It done with a bullish engulfing candle, but previously in the past the bullish engulfing candle has been met with a doji the following month. So although we have a bullish engulfing candle, it doesn't necessarily mean it will go to 80. However, if we do start closing above 77 on the weekly, 80 is definitely the next key level, where we're going to have the weekly, the monthly 50 EMA come to play, and that nice key level there. So looking down at the weekly, as you can see here, 77 is again the key level, and you want to close really above all these wicks here. So if say for instance next week we close at 77.6, 77.5, I would say it's turned quite bullish, and 80 would definitely be the next level there. If however we close with high tests and lots of rejections around here, then maybe not so much. There is more to put into this trade as well as we go on, and I'll go into the dollar index a little bit later. If you are going to short this, I wouldn't do it there right now. The reason why is because every time it comes to this level, it forms some form of structure. So here, for example, on the left hand side, you've got the left shoulder, head and right shoulder, then the collapse down. Here you have multiple rejections here, so you've got a bit of deceleration, come back up. That was a double top on the 4 hour. You then had a random wick there, and then you started creeping up, then crashing down again, and again here even you actually had a double top here. So just bear that in mind, that just because it puts a little mini doji high test there, it doesn't really mean anything. You clearly need more structure than that to take this short from here. And if you did take it short, where would you go down to? Well, 75 / the daily 50 would be definitely be the key levels I'll be looking for. Now moving on to pound yen. Pound yen did move in that direction we said last week, but we're going to break it down from the monthly onwards. So what I've got on the monthly so far is a zone between 130 and 155. At the 155 we've got the monthly 50 as well coming down, so this area here at 155 will be quite nice to look at and see what happens next. And it's been multiple support and now possibly resistance as well again, so that's an area of I'm looking at. How do we get there though? Well, we got to have a break and retest of this 147.5 level clearly. We're in this triangle here, so with a nice bullish engulfing candle here. If the acceleration keeps going up, then comes back down to 147.5, it'll look good. And on the daily, I'll show what that looks like. Unfortunately though, the problem you have with the daily though at the moment is you have this huge bullish run here. It never pulled back at all in the last couple of weeks really. So in all fairness, I'll probably see a test of 147.5, a pull back down. So really you come up there to start with, will then come back down to this level here roughly, and the daily 50 will come back up to it. And when the daily 50 comes back up, it'd be nice for a retest to take long from there. That's what I'll be looking for in this pair at the moment. Otherwise, what I do see will happen is it will then, if it wanted to, it'll do this up here, clearly break another higher high here, higher than this double top here, define the double top pattern, then coming down to test the double top pattern, or the top of the double top pattern, and then head up higher afterwards to the 155. Well, that's what I'll be thinking next as well. So you got two scenarios that happen there. I don't really think it will come back down to test the 140 again. The fact that we got a nice triangle on the monthly, and it is such a strong bullish move there. So going towards the dollar index, and I'll explain to you what I'm looking here as well. So at the moment the dollar is extremely bearish. As you can see from the daily chart here, it's just bearish, bearish, bearish. It can't even make its pullbacks to the daily 50s or test patterns. It just collapses out the sky and keeps falling. So I've got 95 as a level here. Personally myself, I don't think that's the best or strongest level. It's made some rejections. It's not the greatest. 93 is clearly the best level, and if you look onto the weekly chart, I got 94.5 as being a much cleaner rejection there. So as you can see, a nice bearish engulfing candle here. Look for a little pullback and try and short again. Now, how does that affect the Aussie dollar? You have to think, because bear in mind, if you're going to short the Aussie dollar, that means you're expecting either the dollar to get stronger or the Aussie to get weaker. So if that's actually the case, where you think the Aussie is actually the one who gets weaker, not the dollar gets stronger, you may find that going pound Aussie long could be another opportunity for you, or even euro Aussie long, because this is going to be in this kind of structure here. But when you look into the euro dollar itself, the euro dollar is at a key level, so the euro might be pulling back. So you've got a lot of wait and see in the marketplace, so just be aware of that. On the monthly perspective, clearly 93 and the monthly 50 would be the ideal target to take short if it was able to do so. Just remember, for this to become truly bearish, it actually has to break the 93 to the downside, or it could do this. You can come back up here, put in a right shoulder there, and then collapse down. So you get this kind of structure here, but that'll be over several months, guys. Bear in mind it's the monthly chart, so just be careful of that. But you've got them two options there, or like I said, you've got the other option of it coming down there and then doing that up there. So you've got two options. What can happen here is a wait and see scenario again to see what the dollar really wants to do. Just bear that in mind this week if you are going to short the Aussie dollar. That's why I don't believe shorting the Aussie dollar would be the best trade of the week right now. I hope you had a good weekend, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.